Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Rust Guy to help you guys out during the Rust console beta with yours truly, BioLazer. So, before this episode gets started, or I should say, before the guys get started, I want you guys to go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for future videos and make sure to hit that notification bell button to be notified whenever I post those future videos. Whenever they lift the NDA restrictions, you best believe your boy BioLazer as well as the members of the Boyfriend Squad are going to be streaming this on the console version. If you guys don't know who the Boyfriend Squad are, they are down in the description down below. Their channels, I should say, are down in the description down below. That is Jane Monkey from Jane Monkey channel and Razor from Razor Tube channel. You're more than welcome to check them out. But with that said, enough self promo. Let's just get into the video. So today I kind of wanted to show you guys on when it comes to crafting. Don't pay attention to this. I was just kind of messing around. And this is my little setup whenever I decide to give you guys news on the updates. But this is what you're going to need in order for the crafting, or I should say the crafting in Rust. Now, there are a couple things that I want to tell you guys. Some of these stuff are, I guess you should say, tier. So there's a tier 1, as you can see right here at the bottom right. It says tier 1 workbench, and then there's a tier 2. If I get close to it, it gives me the tier 2 buff, and then a tier 3 buff, as you can see. Obviously, each tier is different. If I were to have tier 1 and then I destroy it, and then now I have a tier 2, I could craft tier 2 items with the tier 2 as well as tier 1 items. And then the same thing, if I have a tier 3, I don't need a tier 2 or a tier 1. I could craft tier 1 and tier 2 items with a tier 3. Now let me not get ahead of myself. Some of you might have already modded, lost some of you. So let me just show you guys what I mean by that. If you were to go over to the tab button and things like this, you're going to see common items. So common items are usually items that you could craft on your own inventory. You don't need to be near any type of workbench. But then you're going to come across a couple of items that you are going to need to be near a workbench. For example, the main metal tools. If you come over here, it literally says I have to be near a workbench. If I am not near a workbench, it is not going to work. And is the level required is level 1. So obviously, if you can see right here, if I try to craft it, it's not going to let me. But if I get near the workbench level 1 right here, you see at the bottom right, it gives me that buff. That's what I mean by that. Now I could craft, but I have to be near this. And then why do you think you might need these? Early game, you're going to need a workbench level 1 early game for many reasons. One of the main reasons, literally, is going to be to make ammo. You're going to need to make GP in order for you to actually make bullets. So GP, you're going to need charcoal and sulfur. If you guys haven't seen my smelting guide, make sure to go check it out. I will post it right up here in the right hand corner. But you're going to need both of these, and you're going to need to be next to a worker's bench level 1. Now, if you guys save enough money to make a workbench level 2, you could make a workbench level 2. Now, here's the downside to this thing. You cannot pick this up. Oh, I guess you can pick it up. What? Well, just for all intents and purposes, you're not allowed to, at least in the past, you were not allowed to pick this up. So all you could do is that you had to kind of get a tool and then break it. But as you see, we just picked it up and they just decreased the health on it. Now, if you actually want to repair it, you're going to need, the tools and everything that you're going to need in order to repair it. So, obviously, whatever it costs in order for you to build this little bad boy right here, wood, metal, scrap, you're going to need to have that in your inventory and then just beat it with a hammer and it would fix it. That is really cool. I just learned something from my own guide. I didn't know you could pick it up. Can you pick up level 2? Yes, you can. Can you pick up level 3? Yes, you can. Wow, this is a game changer, guys. This changes everything. So in the past, you weren't able to like pick this up. You kind of had to break it. So the best thing you could do was you just kind of turned it around. And then after that, you just kind of like did it like that. You were able to turn it around and just kind of get rid of it. So that is pretty cool that you could pick these things up and everything like that. That's really awesome. So in the past, you used to be able to just kind of like They used to have right here, you used to be able to like just add scrap to the workers bench, and then you used to kind of play like a roulette game, you know? You would get blueprints at random, they were tier 1. Now they kind of changed the game with this new blueprint system they got going on. So before I get ahead of myself, these are all the tier 2 items right here, and I will explain to you how does the tree work and all that stuff. But for now, let me just show you. So I show this on the scraps video, but if you guys didn't know, Rust works on a blueprint system. So right here is all the common things that you have, and these are the items. Whatever says new are the items that I've actually learned through the blueprint system. Now you guys might be wondering what the heck is the blueprint system. I'll show you right now. Just because I know somebody's gonna be asking me, we're gonna do the guns, because I know somebody's gonna be like, well, what if I like this game is PvP, so I want to learn how to use guns. So it's pretty easy. You're gonna come over here. You're gonna need scrap. If you guys don't know how to get scrap, make sure to go check out my scrap video. You're gonna see there how to get easy scrap at the beginning. You're gonna drop the scrap right here on the research table. If you guys don't know how to make a research table, it is very easy. You just go right here to the items. It's going to cost you 200 metal fragments as well as 20 metal scraps. You got to know how to make metal scraps right here. You're going to put the metal scraps here, I should say. And then you're going to put the gun right here. So now you have two options. Let's say I was, I don't know, out in the wild and I found this gun. So now I have two options with this gun. I could either use it, take it outside and use it. Sometimes it's not going to be repaired. It's just going to straight up be like, damage. So then I have two options. I could either use this gun, go outside PvP with it, probably get myself killed and lose the gun. Or I could just come up here to my research table and then just kind of drop the gun right here and I could begin research. Always remember to empty the guns because you're going to have to learn how to, use the gun and as well as learn how to craft the bullets. Now it's pretty easy. You're going to go right here. It's going to cost me 125 scraps to learn it. So I'm just going to go right here and learn it. The only downside to learning blueprints, I should say, is that you're going to lose the item. So you sacrifice the item to turn it into a blueprint. Then you're then going to learn. Now we're going to come over here. Obviously it says one of these items need a level work 1 bench. That's cool, bro. I already know that. Let me just drop it to 1 bullet right here. And then now I could actually learn it. Obviously, if I put a stack of 5, it's not going to teach me how to do 5. Always remember, if you learn the gun, learn the bullet that comes with it. If you already have the bullet learned, then, I mean, kudos to you, but a lot of times you don't. Sometimes you find this blueprint on the wild, sometimes you don't. Now, we come over here, we're going to learn this blueprint, and we're going to learn this blueprint. Now, all of a sudden, if I come here, I have learned the Python, but I'm going to need a worker's bench level 2 in order to craft these. These are the most common worker bench level 1 right here. The nail gun, the revolver, the double barrel, and the water pipe. Honestly, if you're an early game solo player, you should first rush to get these 3 items right here. Learn them, try to find them on the wilderness or the wild, and try to learn them. If you cannot seem to get lucky and find them, it is going to be very easy. Just head over to the outpost. And in the outpost, there's going to be a machine right here that actually has the actual thing that you're going to need in order for you to learn it. If it lets me show right here, multiple vending machines, cool. That is not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. I wanted not that one, not that one. Right here. It tells you right there. It shows you the revolver, the double barrel. And it's 250 scraps for the double barrel and 200 for the revolver. Each of these are, if I'm not mistaken, are going to cost me 75 scraps on top of how much I already paid. So obviously the goal will be for you to get it from the wild, not just, acquire it from learning blueprints. But if you really are unlucky, you might as well go ahead and do that. Now that we have known that, that is going to be how you learn, or the basic way how to learn blueprints in this game. Now, there are other ways to learn blueprints that they added for those of you that are not so lucky, and you're going to need some scrap to do so. So, this is a little bit more expensive, but it is worth it sometimes. Now, there's going to be different ones for level 1. So, if you can see right here, you open it, and it shows you a different thing. These are all the things that you're going to need to have a tier 1 in order for you to actually craft it. So this is called, as they call it, the pathway. So it says there's no path. Obviously, it's just like an MMO tree. If you learn the first one, it opens the pathway for you to kind of open and unlock the other ones. Each one is going to be worth different. Now you can see I already learned these three right here. So I already have the pathway open for these. And then eventually I'll be able to open the pathway for this one, and then eventually for some of that satchel charge, so then I can start raiding people. This is another one that you're gonna need a must for the base protection. You could honestly find this at the outpost as well. You could buy it there. The one thing that I would say for you guys to invest on would be the clothing line. The clothing line is going to be something that you're going to need. You could always, once again, buy it at the outpost for scrap if you feel like it's too expensive to go this way. When you really do the math, it kind of does pile up here, but you kind of get a specific type of thing, and you don't have to risk it. You learn it from like in your house with the workers benches there. And then right here you're gonna see like this is more for like cropped and everything like that. The bed is something common that you find, so I wouldn't suggest for you to learn it. When it comes to the mixing table, that's more end game. I wouldn't waste your scrap on it. And electricity, I would just honestly do an electricity, like watch a electricity guy. I might make one. On electricity is really fun, and you could kind of like get into it, but that's kind of like more like, I wouldn't say end game. You could actually make some cool stuff at the beginning, but I digress. Now, these things right here, this is more like comfort level right here. These things like the rugs and all that stuff, these are going to be pretty common stuff that you find whenever you're looking for scrap. So that's why I say don't even bother with that. If you're going to go with anything, I would go with like clothing line. Don't even bother with this. So tier 1 items are not really worth it in my opinion, but it's up to you if you so choose to. Now we're going to just go ahead and we're going to close this, and I'm going to show you what tier 2 items are actually going to give you. So now if we come over here to tier 2 and we open the tech tree, you're going to see right here the hazmat suit. Honestly, dude, the hazmat suit is money. I wouldn't suggest for you to spend money on learning how to make these, because you tend to find these frequently in the wild, as well as this, the medical syringe. You could find those in the wilderness. These type of clothing, these are actually money makers. They're not. I'm not gonna say they're common. They're kind of uncommon, common. So I wouldn't put my money on it. In regards to the metal picks, the Savage pick, it's only one metal pipe and 5 metal blades, so it can get expensive. And these, if you think about it, this is basically, you know, um, scrap. You're literally wasting scrap on it. The only thing that I would say, if you're really struggling out there, because think about it this way. Let me just digress from this. If you're really struggling out there to find a garage door, which they are pretty common to use, this is more end game type thing. So if you really are struggling, then I would say it's totally worth it for you to learn this going down the tree like this. It can get expensive, but garage door is a must on wipes. It really is a must on wipes. Now, when it comes down to guns and stuff, that you are gonna get guns along the way, so don't even waste your scrap on any of this stuff right here. Really, I would just say kind of like, if you're gonna waste your scrap, then you might as well just go down the clothing route when it comes to these things. Honestly, um, this thing, the coffee can, coffee can, the this thing right here, this is money when it comes to PvP right here. When you can't kind of get down here, this is kind of like too expensive for you to honestly make, so I wouldn't even like bother with it. But let me just kind of show you. So you're gonna learn this first. Boom. Just like a tree, like just like a wild tree. Wow, what am I saying? Just like an MMO tree, you're gonna boom. Now you have this three that you could unlock. Obviously, if you don't have medical syringe or something, boom, you're just gonna learn medical syringe. You could always learn the feed. Now, obviously, right here is gonna show you how much scrap you're using. So I'm using 75 just to learn this hoodie. And now if I were to go down this way and then I just kind of go to my clothing, now these things have been unlocked. Like now I know how to make hazmats. Now I know how to make this. Now I know how to make shirts. Now I know how to make gloves. You get the point. So it's almost like a tree, like a little tree thing that you have. Now, if let's say you are building and like you just saw right now, if you're building and you have a tier 1 and then you kind of want to get rid of it because you have enough to build a tier 2 and you want tier 2, you know, you could just pick this up like so. Now obviously it's going to lose health, so be careful with that. Once you actually pick it up, you place down the tier 2. You could craft tier 2 items. Sorry, you could craft tier 1 items on a tier 2 bench. So you don't have to sweat it. And then you could craft tier 1 and tier 2 items on a tier 3 bench. Now, when it comes to the benches, they are expensive. So be very careful with them. Obviously, the tier 1 is only 50 scraps. But then when you get to the workers bench 2, it's 500 scrap. And then when you get to the 3, it's 1,250. Now, these things are pretty expensive. So I would say not to waste your scrap on this. You can honestly waste your scrap on other things like learning blueprints, for example. But this thing they added, this little tree thing they added, it's actually pretty cool. I really like it. It is definitely a game changer. Um, it really speeds up the process when it comes to like blueprint and you trying to find blueprints out there and things like that. Cause it really like before like you couldn't do anything about it, and if you didn't find the blueprint, then you might as well go buy something because yeah, you're just shit out of luck. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is this? This is called a repair bench. Now, you have a couple of options, and I'm going to show you right now. Most of the time, you're going to be out farming, if not PvPing. Whenever something breaks, you could come over here, and you could actually just kind of like slap it in here and just repair it. Here, let me go get something broken so then I can show you guys. And we're back. All right, so let's say you're out in the world. You just came back from farming. And now you're like, bro, look at my like freaking drill, dude. It's almost broken. It practically is broken. Or you have this little thing right here. You see, oh my God, dude. So you could put it here and you could actually repair it. Now, obviously, this thing, if it's broken, you're going to be able to repair it for like 15 wood and 19. And then right here, this thing is going to need 1 high quality metal as well as 30 metal fragments. Now, here's a beautiful thing that a lot of people don't know about. People are like, damn, man, it's going to be expensive for me to repair this little, you know, jackhammer and shit like that. No, if you guys don't know, you could get close to a workbench. You don't even need a workbench level 2 or 3. Like, so right here, you just need the level 1 buff right here. If I could just get the level 1 buff right here. You're going to click on it, and then you just go, boop, you go refill, and then right there, you just refilled it for free. Let's go, and then now you can just go ahead and go continue farming to your heart's desire. This is why I say the drill or this guy right here, the jackhammer, is so money. If you come over here and you do the pickaxe, you see that you're not gonna be able to refill the pickaxe, so you're actually gonna have to repair it. You're gonna have to go over here and physically repair it. This is why having one of the jackhammers is so money when it comes to crafting. Again, if you go to Outpost, you could actually get a jackhammer right here for 150 scrap. 150 scrap. That is so cheap. What are you doing? I mean, yeah, the hatchet and the pickaxe are 50 scrap. But man, this thing right here, the jackhammer, is going to get you paid. It's going to be well worth the 150 scrap, tell you that much. Especially if you're a solo player or even if you're a duo or trio, this is going to pay you a lot. As well as the chainsaw. But if you guys don't know, when it comes down to the harvesting things, make sure to go check out my harvesting, or I should say resource video. I will link it. Again, all of the guys are in the right hand corner. Make sure to go check them out, and you're going to see why this jackhammer is so good. And all you really need is a level 1 workbench in order to do it. I mean, you could even raid with this if you guys didn't know. If you guys get inside a base and you're trying to, like, you know, expose it and stuff like that. But then again, I'll show that in the raiding video. But if you go to the soft side, and again, I show that in the base building. This is the hard side, and this is the soft side of the base. You could literally just raid with it. You could just raid with it like this. You see how easy you are? And if you're next to a level 1 workbench, dude, you just go up to it, go boop, refill, and then guess what? You just continue raiding. Oh my God, tell me that's not OP as hell, dude. You could just be like, yeah, dude. Hold on, it's almost broken. Let me continue raiding. I'm telling you, this thing is broken. Now, obviously, when you repair it, it's not going to be 100% repair. It's always going to be that little smidge in there. But I mean, as long as you maintain it, repairing it, you're going to be just fine. Now, some of you might be asking, Well, what if I break it? I would suggest don't break it. Make sure that it's almost broken and then bring it here to, refill it. But I'll show you what happens if you break it. So boom, guess what happens? I just broke my jackhammer. Now what happens? Now can I just refill it right here? Boom, I just refilled it, but guess what? It doesn't refill all the way. It has a little bit less than it did before. So this is what I mean by, don't break it. I mean, why would you break it? Just come back home. Don't get too greedy. Go on a little farming spree and then come back home. That's literally what you're going to do. Just go on a farming spree and come back home. Now, unlike the bench right here, when you pick it up, it loses HP, like so. If you can see right here, if I place it down again, you see that it lost a lot of HP. But like I said, if you have the tools that you need, which is, scrap, metal fragments, and wood, you could always repair it back to full health. But you could pick them up. As you can see, you're going to lose HP when it comes to them. So I would suggest try not to pick them up a lot because, it's going to get expensive to fix them. But one thing that you can pick up is this. For some reason, when you pick up the repair bench, this bad boy right here, for some reason, when you pick it up, it doesn't lose health. Same thing as this guy right here. The research table. So these are things that you could honestly, what a lot of people do is that they just kind of place them whenever they need to use them. And then when they're not using them, they just kind of store them away, So that way they don't take too much space up in the base. But if you, that's if you have a really tight compact base. I would suggest for you not to have a base this big. Look, the base is not even closed. And look how much it takes for me to upkeep. 2,000 stone. That's ridiculous. But, all you're really going to need a repair bench is to repair this if you're a broke person. But honestly, if you want to be rich and live like the rich life, I would say get the jackhammer and then just kind of do that. Only other reason that I would say to do this would be to like repair things like guns and stuff like that. That's when I would say, yeah, waste your time when it comes down to that. But other than that, don't even bother with this thing. Or actually, this thing is also good for like doing things like skins. So if you have like a skin that you could like, obviously this is the default, but like when Rust comes out, there's gonna be a skin system, kind of like Fortnite. So you could actually, do the skins here. That's if you find the stuff in the wild. If you craft it, like for example, I have a skin for the forge right here, for the furnace, I should say. I could just craft it with the skin already on it. If you don't have the skin, or if you found the thing in the wild, then you could always reskin it. Like I have skins for the doors, things like that. They're gonna have skins for, which is gonna be tight. I can't wait for them to actually bring out the skin system. It's gonna be great. That is pretty much when it comes down to the guide, guys. I guess we should look at the tier 3 so you guys see what you're gonna be seeing on tier 3. It's not much. This is actually really cool because C4 was something that was really, really hard to find. But as you can see, when it gets down to here, you're looking at the 500. So it's really up to you. If you're like scrap rich, then yeah, I say do this. If you're not, I would say just stick to tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 3, I would say, is more for like end game, clan, big, zerg, bases, stuff like that. That's when I'll say tier 3 is actually worth it. Other than that, just kind of stick to tier 1 or tier 2. But without further ado, guys, let's not make this more longer than it needs to be. That's pretty much when it comes to crafting. That's kind of what you need to know. Other than that, right here is going to tell you what you're going to need exactly. I would say save all your gears if you find gears in the WoW. For your actual garage store, the garage store is going to be money. Save all your scraps like always. And as well as when you're on the WoW, I would say save all your pipes, as well as save all of your, basically pipes, because this is going to be the main things you're going to be crafting. The shotgun and the actual, revolver. These are going to be like the top PvPs early game. So you want to get a hand of this. If you get your hands on a python, then yeah, save your metal springs at that point. Other than that, don't even bother saving your metal springs. Just kind of like smelt them, because a python doesn't come around that often. But when it does, bro, I would say learn that as quick as possible before somebody comes and steals it from you. And then you could always craft one after that. When it comes to this, what can I say, man? When it comes to the worker bench and this is OP'd. OP'd, guys. Now, with that said, I'm going to leave it here, guys. Make sure to hit the like video if you like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. And make sure to hit the notification bell button to be notified whenever I post another video. And I'll see you guys next time.